Quando falamos do teatro em Portugal, imediatamente vem-nos a imagem de salas vazias. Talvez à exceção do teatro de revista e, recentemente, do teatro musical. Mas aqui em Goa o cenário é completamente diferente. Centenas e centenas de pessoas reúnem-se no adro da igreja e à frente dos templos, por vezes mesmo depois da meia-noite, para assistir ao espetáculo. Porquê? Como é que isto tudo começou? São algumas das questões que vamos tentar responder ao longo deste programa.
History of theatre is for last 114 years. We have completed 114 years for theatre. And till today in Goa, theatre is what people want. In other parts of countries, I feel that theatre is not so popular. But in Goa, it's wonderful, it's beautiful to be among with people and perform.
Teatro é uma peça, é uma história, portanto, que tem interpoladas canções que não têm nada a ver com a história e rábulas políticas, que é aquilo que o aproxima, são estas duas componentes que o aproximam, por exemplo, do teatro de revista português.
Theatre is unique and different compared to all other forms of drama is only because of this. A theatre has got a storyline. This storyline is divided into sometimes five, sometimes six, sometimes 7 acts. Each act is called a poddo. Now, when one poddo is over, and before the start of the second poddo, there are songs in between. There can be 2 songs or 3 songs. These songs are not at all relevant on the story of the play.
E que é uma estrutura que, por exemplo, encontramos no cinema de Bollywood, que aí também me parece que é herdeiro de tradições de natureza teatral anteriores.
The old Sanskrit plays, from which this is derived, the plays which were written in the 4th and 5th centuries and even earlier, with Kalidas and so on, from that this has come down. Now Natya Shastra, which is the art of right theatre, specified that every single play had to have tragedy, had to have comedy, had to have all the rasas, the 9 rasas, and also songs and dance. Without it, the play would not take place. And we have inherited this tradition from them. Like the first Hindi movie, talkie movie, one of the talkie, Indra Sabha, where 120 songs it had.
Theatre is a well-known theatre form of Goa, and it has got around 110 or 115 years tradition. But prior to that, there was a folk form called Zagor, and that particular form of theatre, what now we call it theatre now, that has been evolved through that Zagor.
Khel and Zagor. In the north, we used to have Zagor. In the south, basically, it was Khel. They used to call it Fail also. But what has happened is that in those years, not many Goans were going to attend the shows of Zagor as well as Khel, only because the quality had declined. There were a lot of vulgarity, jokes, other things which were vulgar. So people stopped patronizing this Zagor as well as Khel, and there was a need for the Goans to have some sort of entertainment, and that's how theatre came into existence.
Zagors came to a stop when I believe there was a murder in Korthale because of what they had exposed on stage or talked about the affairs of some official. There was a quarrel and there was a murder, and with that the government came down heavily on Zagors. Though some performances still continued in Sioli and Kandoli and perhaps Arle Raya. Now, I have found that there are actually two opinions or two directions from which theatre has begun. It is officially kind of accepted that theatre began with the formal enactment of Lucasino Ribeiro's Italian drama on Italian Burgo on 17th April 1892.
In fact, it is very surprising to see that Goan theatre came from an opera from Italy. In Bombay, in the 19th century, Italian operas used to come, and they used to show stage their plays at Bombay, Madras, Delhi, Calcutta, and many Goans used to go to Bombay in search of jobs.
They came to Bombay looking for work, and we said all the cooks and the violinists were Goans, basically. And they joined in the film industry. At one time, they were only Goan violinists.
And there was one Goan named Lucasino Ribeiro. He went to Bombay in search of a job. He came across one advertisement whereby they wanted backstage artists. This Italian opera troops which were coming, they wanted backstage artists, and he applied. And he got the job as a backstage artist. He moved with the troupe to Simla, Calcutta, Madras, and when they were going back, at that time, he saw that those were the last performances of that play. The name of that opera was Italian Boy. So he thought something, and he asked them whether they can sell those costumes. And he bought those costumes, second-hand costumes. Now, these costumes were, when he bought from them, anybody could guess that he was having something in mind.
Lucasino was also fortunate in having borrowed or having purchased the velvet costumes from the Italian opera company. And then there were Goan musicians on hand in Bombay because they had already been playing during the era of the silent movies when Lumiere cinematograph was first shown in the Watson Hotel and then Novelty Theatre in Bombay. The Goan musicians were on hand to provide the background music. So they had a ready team of musicians. They had to struggle to get actors because not many were keen because of the low standard or the people's prejudice against Zagors.
So then he collected only 5 or 6 Goans in order to act.
And he was assisted by João Agustin Fernandes, who is now regarded as the father of Konkani theatre. 2 other gentlemen, Caetanino Fernandes and Agostinho Mascarenhas. A 5th person's name is not yet known. The 5 of them actually played the 9 roles in that play.
He used all those costumes, and when he went to produce, when they were rehearsing, he came to know that there are some problems as far as the changing of the setting is concerned. When one act was over, there needed some time to change the set. So what he did, that the people should not, the audience should not bore. So he put songs. He dropped the curtain. He put some dances and songs. And when these songs and dances were going on in front of the curtain, he was setting his stage behind the curtain. So as a result, after every act, he did this. And these songs were not relevant to the play, to the story of the Italian Boy. So under these circumstances, a new format came into existence. That format was well enjoyed by the people, and this was called as teatro. In fact, they were spelling this word in Portuguese, T-E-A-T-R-O, teatro. The present spelling theatre is done by us in 70s. In fact, I was responsible. We said, why we should have a foreign spelling? Let us spell it the way we pronounce it. And as a result, T-I-A-T-R came into existence. But our Goan theatre has got origin, I must say, in the Italian opera.
And from then on, of course, João Agostinho moved on to, within a year, he wrote The Bell of Cavell, which is a comedy and based on Goan life. He then, João Agostinho went on to write about 30 plays, and only 4 were translations. So 26 original plays based on Goan society. And he took in themes like drunkenness or dowry, caste distinctions. I think one of his major ideas was to have Goan unity, and many of the plays like Bhatkara, Bell of Cavell, then Vauradi, they try to bring together various strata of Goan society.
Até porque em Bombaim eles vão separar com um fenómeno que aqui não se separavam, que é o fenómeno da coexistência com diferentes comunidades. E com uma forte definição comunitária, quase numa mentalidade de gueto que aqui não existia. E, portanto, esse fenómeno depois vão passá-lo para cá. Vão trazer o teatro para Goa, vão trazer uma série de manifestações culturais, aí é de mais natureza cultural, que vão chegar a Goa e que vão influenciar, de facto, e continuam a influenciar as classes médias baixas de Goa e as classes populares. E basta ver que aqui o teatro e o drama em Concanim católico continua a ser bastante popular.
Theatre is not totally restricted to Catholic community. But when we say, any Goan say, theatre, then immediately we make out that 99% people will say that it is by Catholic community.
Igreja de Rivona. É muitas vezes em igrejas como esta que podemos encontrar palcos improvisados como este e onde podemos assistir a peças de teatro. O mesmo acontecendo nos templos, mas neste caso não chamamos teatro, mas sim natak.
When natak means Hindu community. This is main difference. And when you come to natak, then there are various aspects like Sangeet natak, Aitihasik natak, Samajik natak, Pauranik natak. That is what I said, ki, mythological, then social, then historical. Whatever the episode they are discussing in the drama, accordingly it is categorized.
Whenever there have been festivals, there have been dramatic performances. And so whenever there has been the Zatra, there has been related either the Zagor or the Natak associated along with the temple feast. Where Christianity was concerned, along with all the major church feasts, there would be the entertainment provided in the form of theatre. But there has been the secularization that has come into theatre. And so now theatres are not restricted to the church halls, they have gone on to be performed in the public halls.
But theatre by itself is a very successful sort of commercial form of entertainment in Goa, very successful. They have hundreds of shows of one production, and you have kind of house full all the time.
In Goa itself, at present, there are about 20 to 25 production companies of theatre itself. Each production company is having over 100 performances.
A paixão pelo teatro aqui em Goa é tão grande que encontramos um encenador, que também é escritor e ator, que montou um palco aqui na sua própria casa, onde os atores vêm ensaiar todas as noites. Vamos então conhecer Govind Raikar.
Previously I used to having my job, that means I was working as a technician, Philips technician, then I have doing catering job, and presently I am fully on this drama's jobs only, on my production only. I am writing, I am directing, I am acting in my dramas. Even my wife, even my child, all are acting in my dramas, and my friends also.
माझे लग्न जावन हांवें रोखडेच म्हाका मिस्टरान ड्रामान हाडले. पयलीं हांव केन्नाच करूं नाशिल्लें ड्रामा बी.
आज प्लीज वचूं नाका तांचे पार्टेक. आज आमी खंय बरी भोंवपाक या. कालची एनिवर्सरी आज सेलिब्रेट करूया. आगोन कशें जाता तूच कित्याक येना आमच्या पार्टेक?
बरें दिसता आतां खूब की म्हाका उबें सुद्दां रावंक कळनाशिल्लें. म्हाज्या मिस्टरानूच म्हाका हाडलें हितून. आनी स्टेजीर काम करतना खूब बरें दिसता, आवडटा. लोकांचो रिस्पॉन्स मेळटकूच बरें दिसता आनी ताळयो मेळटकूच खूब बरें दिसता.